start the show tonight by doing something I never thought I would do, and I'm actually going to defend Daryl Moron. Daryl Moron is not the problem with the Philadelphia 76ers. The problem with the Philadelphia 76ers are the people who have Daryl Moron being their GM. Bobby, he should have never been the GM, but I don't think there's people above him who have a clue how to hire a proper GM.
Well, I think he's going after this season. I mean, how can you sit back and watch this disaster and come back with it again next year? I don't think you can do it. It's time for change.
I think you're right. And I think maybe they're going to use the tired and true Philadelphia excuse of injuries. But, at this point, I agree with most people on social media, if not all. Hey, winning a game is not a positive for the Sixers going forward.
No. And are we going to break or are we going to go straight through here?
No, we can go ahead and take the break now, and we'll come back and get into what the Sixers maybe should do and our baseball preview. We'll have a fun top 10.
I want to talk about that Rockets game. That was something else.
That was a bizarre thing. And hey, all along I kept telling people, they'll lose it. Don't worry. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Hi, eSports Radio fans. This show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, eSports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, eSports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at iSports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at iSports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making iSports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Yeah, like we said a few minutes ago, I mean, I've never seen an NBA season this bad with injuries, where every night you're looking, and even right before games start, there's just guys who are all stars, just not playing and dropping off. But when you focus in on the Sixers, I don't know what different lineups to start a game. What they're close to 50 right now.
Yeah, I mean, every night it's a different. Yeah, I think the only consistent lately has been Quentin Grimes. He's
Since he's been here, yeah.
he's playing himself into a contract somewhere, if not here. It seems like these guys are auditioning, for next year. They're still out there. They're trying. They're just not good enough. You had who was the guy last night? A Kuki. And you had who else had a big game? O'Shea, Brissett. But then, see, these guys aren't consistent there. They'll put up 15 one night and score 2 the next night. That's why they're not regulars in the league. But that Houston game was just something else. I mean, they were up by 10 with 3 minutes to go. We both identified it as a loss early on, but the odds weren't there. It was that play by Quentin Grimes, throw that ball away to the center of the court. It had to be on purpose. I mean, I'd never seen a play where he just looked like he was throwing the ball away on purpose. And then they foul and don't put a big man underneath and let Sengun get the rebound and to put it in. I mean, never in my life. If that game meant something, that would have been the worst loss ever.
They didn't even put a body on Sengun.
Right. Well, he did push. He did push the guy. I don't know who it was underneath for the Sixers, but Sengun did push him in the back.
Well, you got to expect that in that there and be able to at least put some force on him or whatever. But hey, you got to give credit though. That shot bounced off perfectly for them to be able to do that.
Everything in the last 3 minutes went perfect for Houston. They had 2 3-pointers.
Yep, exactly. If the Sixers did that and tied the game, Houston would have scored with 3.5 seconds left.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but no, it's for me. I've never done this really, even though I understand it. I never cheerlead for my team to lose, but I mean, I was getting messages and things on X with people, seriously, people being angry that the Sixers were up 20 on the Rockets. It's like, what are they doing? And I guess it is because they have to get one of the first 6 picks or they lose it.
But even if they're in that position, they're not guaranteed to get it, though. I mean, if teams move up,
right,
in the lottery, I mean, they could easily drop to 7th or 8th.
Oh yeah, easily the way those ping pong balls go.
Yeah.
And then I guess if they drop out of that pick, I don't understand which way it goes, but somehow the Thunder get the pick or something like that. I don't know.
Great. Yeah, just what they need.
Oh yeah.
The rich get richer, right? I mean, it seems like Boston or Oklahoma City, these teams always have draft picks. And
yeah, it does. And
the Sixers didn't expect to be bottom feeders this early. That's the problem. They thought they'd be contenders and they wouldn't need draft picks, but Bobby, as well.
But if you squint hard enough and in the right direction, you can see this team winning a championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in 10 years.
I just, you look there at the bench and you see, well, they officially shut down Paul George for the year. I mean,
what's Maxey next? Maxey's going to be shut down next, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point?
Yeah.
You might, that will probably be what we read next. Still, we sit here after one season, and you think about them. It was a situation where, okay, Tobias Harris is gone, his money's going to going to come off. You don't have to pay him anymore. They'll be able to sign 2 max contracts in the offseason. Obviously, they're going to give the money to Maxey. And it's just a huge mistake giving it to Paul George. Huge. And I don't know what can be done now. You just sit back and say, okay, well, this team's not going to be relevant for years.
No, I mean, like they have to do what they can to get rid of these guys. I mean, it has to be they'd have to take back salary, or I don't know. I'm at a loss. I mean, how are you going to get rid of Paul George? How are you going to get rid of Joel Embiid? You're going to have to hope Embiid can't play medically, and you're going to have to do that.
Well, you'd have to hope the same maybe for Paul George too. I mean, this, like I said, we talked about that last year. I mean, if you're bringing him in, how many games is he going to play?
But I think when it comes down to it, though, what's going to happen is if they need to get out there for the money, they can play. They can play. You know what I mean? You saw Embiid labor, and George will say, "I'm good. I could play." They won't let me. I'm sure he'll place the blame on the Sixers. They were telling me I wasn't healthy.
Well, and you were bringing up the point. I mean, what do you do? How do you trade him? Even if somebody thought, adding Paul George, even if you're going to bring Paul George off the bench to a team like Oklahoma City or something like that, that might sound attractive, but the guy's not going to play because he's going to be hurt. So why would you? First of all, I don't know how the money and everything would work out.
Yeah, right. I mean, Sixers would have to pay him.
Yeah, and let's say it was a situation if basketball was like baseball, where there wasn't the salary cap and all this. Still, why would you're taking a guy who's probably going to be hurt? So
yeah, like we did.
Yeah,
so the only team in the league that would do that.
And really, what you said before was completely accurate. I mean, he really didn't want to come to the Sixers, but there was nobody else
wanted him.
Yeah, nobody did.
Or else he would have been playing overseas.
Yeah, because you would think, given the situation and everything, what they were attempting to do in Los Angeles with the Clippers, I mean, that should have just been okay, a no-brainer. We'll just go ahead and re-sign him. But they had seen enough, and the thing is, over the last few years, watching the Pacers, especially not the Pacers, the Clippers, last year, it was just like, don't bring this guy in, period. Yet alone give him the max. I mean,
and I'm sure he was hurt last year too, but he was just playing because he wanted to get that contract.
I don't know how many games he actually played last year.
He played 74 games, but they were probably, he probably wasn't 100% healthy. He talked his way through it.
Now that I think about it, it was Kawhi Leonard who was hurt last year for a good portion.
Last I checked, he's playing.
Yeah, he's playing now. Yeah, and when we had mentioned Oklahoma City, I mean, at this point, I don't see anyone in the West beating them.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard. It's hard because the playoffs are a totally different game.
You have the experience with Denver. You have the experience with Golden State. And you're right. It's Oklahoma City. It'll be a different game. They're a young team, but I don't know. At this point, I just think it's going to be them against Boston.
I don't think you count the Lakers out.
With LeBron healthy, it's interesting.
Excuse me.
It'll be interesting because the way the playoffs usually go, and this way is almost any night though. The Lakers got to score from the outside. Their inside presence doesn't exist, but they've been able to win games doing that. So,
I mean, you still got LeBron and Luka who can drive the ball to the basket anytime they want.
Correct. But what I'm saying is the loss of Anthony Davis.
I know.
And yeah, I don't know how much you factor in Chet Holmgren as the inside player for the Thunder. It would be interesting, and you're exactly right. You wouldn't be surprised if you look up and after 6 games, the Lakers had won it 4-2. Luka just seems to, once you pass half court, it just seems like Luka can shoot and score.
Yeah, same thing with Steph Curry for Golden State. I mean, they're a live team. I mean, now they got Jimmy Butler, and anything can happen. I mean, if they get a shutdown defender that they can put on, Shea Gilgis. I mean, that's a game changer.
Well, and you look at it from this standpoint as well. Especially with Golden State, given they do have Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, Draymond Green. Those guys aren't getting any younger. So if
No,
they
but
got
Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green are still two good defensive players.
well, and what I'm saying is, if they got a chance to make a run here, they're going to go all out to do
Right.
it.
Yeah.
And
because Jimmy Butler, right? I mean, he's still looking for a title.
Correct.
Yeah, so I mean, this might be his last chance.
Yeah, it's just a shame going into the playoffs that we can't have our yearly will the Sixers make it past the second round discussion.
I know it's been a long time since they haven't made it.
Whew, I know.
What's it been, about 8 years since they haven't made the playoffs?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it has been. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
That would have been. Would it have been the first? Did they make it the first full year of Embiid? Not the first full year they had him, but the first full year he played. I think
I'm sure. I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a lot of seasons. That's a long streak that's going to be broken. While we're on basketball, the NCAA tournament started today, and I have zero interest.
Well, I'll have some interest tomorrow night at 10:10.
Yeah, you're going to watch your team play, but
yeah, it was fun, and the way Conference USA did it, and talking about Liberty here, the way they did it, it was interesting because the girls and men's final, the women and men's final was at the same place. So,
yeah,
being fortunate to have a school where both made it to the finals and actually won it, but it was interesting because you could. I don't know how they did it with the tickets. I don't know if you could buy one ticket and stay to watch both, or you had to, you had to buy two separate.
Sure,
tickets.
I'm sure they did.
But you're right there. You're right there in that building. But no, I don't either. I mean, if you ask me now, I think Houston wins it. But what do I know? Because like you said, there hasn't been that much interest.
No, I mean, yeah, I might check Duke out. They seem like they have a couple NBA players on the team, but people say Florida's pretty good. Auburn struggled a little bit today. I think anybody's beatable. I picked Duke in all three of my brackets, but
Clemson went out.
Yeah, I mean, McNeese State, they were good last year. They play some, they play tough down there, and people said they were a live dog today.
Was that your typical every year 12-5?
12, yeah. There's always one.
That's what, and Liberty got to 12. So
yeah, and Clemson's not exactly a basketball school, despite being a 5 seed. That shows how weak college basketball is at this point.
Yeah, the only other thing I had seen a little bit of was Gonzaga and Georgia, and I didn't see the final, but when it was 25-3 at one point.
Yeah, 27-3 I heard.
Yeah, I'm guessing Gonzaga won the game.
Yeah, they're always good. They're good year after year. I mean,
they had said something when that game. It was interesting too because Tom McCarthy was doing the announcing for the game. The Phillies I was like, wait a minute, is that him?
Yeah. And, I mean, this has to be the first year in forever that we don't have a team in it. That there's no Philadelphia or New Jersey or Delaware team in it.
No, there's not. And that's part of the reason why our interest kind of wasn't really there. I was surprised when they said that. And maybe I shouldn't have been, but they said I guess it was the first time Georgia was back in the tournament in like 8 years. Last time I was at any tournament games, I'm trying to remember. This was a number of years ago. It was in Washington where the first round was, and the reason we were there. I mean, I have family members who are Duke fans, and Duke played. In the early evening game, they played Belmont, and they almost got upset.
They were 15, 2 versus 15.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Duke had to hit a shot at the buzzer.
I mean, wow, that's a long time ago. I was a kid when that happened.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But the point I was making was I remember that I was there all day and Georgia played that day. So
Okay.
I saw them play that day. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Georgia's not what you think of when you think of, like you said, with Clemson. You don't think Georgia. You don't think basketball. But
Right.
no, you're right. You nobody around here,
I
and
mean, how is that possible? Between Temple, Villanova, LaSalle, Drexel, these teams can't get a good player in Philadelphia, where kids play basketball. It's their whole life. I mean, I guess they're not staying in the city anymore. They're all going out of state.
we had a good run there with Villanova for a while.
Yeah, and that's because they had a horrible coach. I don't even think they made the NIT, did they?
I couldn't tell you.
I tried finding the NIT bracket. It's like not find. I can't find it anywhere. Hey, Taryn, thanks for joining us as always. Yep.
Yep. Everyone who's joined us, thank you very much.
Yeah, so that wraps up, basketball. I mean, it's in a sorry state right now, and I wish it was different. It's a lot happier when you've got a good basketball team, but we just don't.
And for those of you who didn't hear, there was huge breaking news out of Clearwater today concerning the Phillies. I mean, Garrett Stubbs has been sent down.
I mean, you saw what happened, right?
All I saw is he was sent down.
He was sent down, and Marshawn's first at bat, he got hit in the elbow with a pitch.
Oh, well, I didn't see that. So okay.
So as Garrett Stubbs was leaving the complex, he tipped off the pitcher. He slid him a little extra, so he said, "Take care of that for me."
This is well, I mean, you can't go into a season without your number one clubhouse guy,
Yeah, he'll be back.
The fact that the guy can't bat my weight, that has nothing to do with it. Well, neither can the leadoff. Neither can the leadoff hitter if it's Schwarber. So,
yeah, I mean, so it didn't last long. His first at bat, he was hit. I don't know how hurt he is, but Marshawn, he has trouble staying healthy. I know that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when we come on next week, we'll be discussing either a Phillies win or more likely a Mackenzie Gore shutdown of the offense.
Mackenzie Gore, wow.
Yeah, hopefully not, but
he's become a opening day starter. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is. But it's for Washington. I mean,
Yeah.
And that's true. You already have the Dodgers. They've won 2 games already, so they on pace for 162-0. We know that.
About that.
Yeah.
Ohtani's already hitting homers.
I still don't. It still just doesn't sit right with me where but they've done it for long enough where they've opened up that way with 2 games like that, and then you get like a week off or whatever. But
yeah, it's travel.
And and I get why baseball does it, but then you're going to open the season. The games are going to start here at 6 a.m.
What do? They come back with the same 2 pitchers?
I guess you can. Why not?
Why not? Yeah, right. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, that's a benefit to them.
So speaking of pitchers, since our last show, Andrew Painter's finally thrown some pitches. They said it was a simulated game. And he faced I think Marsh, Stott, and Bone. They said his stuff looked good, but why did they wait so long? Why did they wait till the last week before the season started?
Very good question. And now with the injury to Ranger Suarez, the injury that everybody should have seen was coming, that something would get, that he would get injured somehow, some way, seems to be the pattern with him. Yeah, I mean, things should have been ready. So, okay, Rangers going to miss some. Okay, well, slide Andrew Painter in, but they're not going to do that. Right. It's going to be Taijuan Walker.
Okay, now if it's Walker, they'd be better off just starting in the 4th innings, down 6-0.
Correct. Or do the that old bullpen game and just start with, I don't know, Kirkering on the mound or something.
Yeah, you'd have
Who
a better
knows?
chance.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Tyler Phillips, you could put him back out there again. I mean, no difference.
Yeah, it's not.
And if you would start Taiwan Walker, you could probably either the first inning he would get him out 1, 2, 3, or he'd give up 5 runs. But then the second inning he would give up the 5 runs. So
Mhm.
and it's not like if he starts, this isn't going to be like it was 2 years ago where the Phillies score about an average of 9 runs in his starts. I don't think.
Well, I think if we do a top 10 list of worst free agent signings in Philadelphia history, he's going to be on the list. He might be right up at the top.
Yeah, I might have to write that down for next week. What? Ooh. I'm trying to think here. I think I know. Well, I have 2 right off the top of my head who would top your list right now.
I think a lot of them would be Phillies.
Oh yeah, they would be.
Jake Arrieta.
Danny Tartable.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going based on money, right? Yeah, they're your guys.
Jake Arrieta. I mean, that was a situation where they absolutely overpaid him, but it was like there's a reason he's available for the Phillies because they signed him kind of late in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, there's a reason why a former Cy Young winner, World Series champion is available.
Right. He was the Paul George of the Phillies.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
Who is the guy the Eagles got from the Raiders who's supposed to be a great cornerback and he stunk?
Oh,
you know who I'm talking? They signed him in the offseason. He was like a Pro Bowler.
How long ago? Do you remember? We'll see if the staff can find it.
That's tough to find.
Yeah, that might be hard to find. I mean, I think of Andrew Bynum as well. He comes to mind.
Yeah, he never played.
He bowled.
Yeah, he bowled.
That's typical Philadelphia of what happens.
I'm looking it up. All I remember about the guy is he was like, I don't want to say this on the air, but they talked about how good looking he was. If you remember that, he was. Wow, it was probably Chip Kelly era.
Yeah, it's not ringing a bell for me. Hopefully
I'll find it.
Yeah, hopefully you come across it and it's like, oh yeah, I remember that.
I'm not sure if they traded for him or I got it already. It's Nnamdi Asomugha.
Oh my goodness, I remember that. Yeah, he was terrible.
2011. Yep.
He was terrible.
But he was billed as one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, and then we got him, and he couldn't cover anybody.
There was a lot of interest and excitement in him coming in, but I think Bobby, you got more tackles that year than he did.
Yeah. Yeah, he never tackled anybody. About that Byron Maxwell, he was another one.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
It's funny because I found him, and the list I found, he is the worst free agent signing in Eagles history. 5 years, $60 million they gave him. And I believe he went right back to the Raiders, if I'm not mistaken.
And made the Pro Bowl, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. You know, it was always one thing. There was always a joke between my brother and I. The Danny Tartable, and every once in a while you'll see the episode of Seinfeld that Danny Tartable's on. I mean, he had like 7 at bats, fouled a ball off his foot, was never seen again. It's just like,
and they must have signed him for multiple years. Was it a 1-year deal?
That's a good question. I mean, you would think it wouldn't have been. I mean, but no, just obviously that was it. You know, you think back to the 80s and Lance Parrish, who, it was just really bad. Well, since we're on baseball, who Who wins the divisions this year?
Huh.
Let's see. We'll start in the AL.
Okay.
AL West.
Oof.
I know.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, you got Seattle out there. So you never know how they're going to play. It seems like they're good like every other season.
Yeah, or they look good on paper, and then all of a sudden, once the season starts, it's like, oh,
I know. I mean, Houston's of course always going to be a problem. Texas, you never know what to expect. They're not calling Oakland anymore. I don't even know what they're called.
I don't know. Are they Sacramento?
I don't know. I think they're just the Athletics. They are. They're just the athletic. They're the baseball team.
That's it.
And then you got Texas, Houston, the Angels, Oakland, Seattle. I mean, I guess you got to go with Houston. Just
Yeah,
on pedigree.
I would say it would either be Houston or Texas.
Yeah.
They would be. I mean, I don't know. I didn't hear anything, but then I didn't look. I mean, is DeGrom going to pitch this year?
I might try, but he's probably not going to last.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, that's been the pattern.
Yeah. I mean, if you go to the Central.
Yep.
I know who I would pick here. A team that was coming on last year at the end, and they were very hot. They're young, and yeah, they got some stars. And
that's exactly who I picked.
They got Riley Green and Scooble, and yeah, it looks like they're going to be good for a while. I think they've turned it around. I think they're going to be your team out of the Central.
The White Sox have already been eliminated.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think Detroit's the team there. I mean, I think they built off what they did last year, and I think they win the division. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't see much improvement to Minnesota. I didn't see much improvement to Cleveland. So, and there's some talent on Kansas City, but just like you said, I mean, we're looking at last year. We're looking at what Detroit did, and I think Detroit wins it.
The East on paper should be Baltimore, but a lot of people are talking about Boston this year.
They are, and I'm not sold yet.
I think you could toss Toronto and Tampa Bay out. So I think it's going to be a 3-team race between the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Orioles. And the Yankees were dealt a big blow by losing Garrett Cole.
And Stanton being injured.
Yeah.
Cole is the bigger blow there, but yeah, they're going to need I don't know what they're going to do. I guess they're going to just have to go and see how the season progresses with them. But
they are the Yankees. I'm sure they'll manage to get some young pitcher from a bad team and have them save their season.
Yeah, or somehow they'll make a trade for Andrew Painter, or somebody will pop up, or they'll have Nestor Cortez will pitch on 3 days rest regularly.
Yeah,
they'll have something like that. But so we have Boston, and I think it's going to be Baltimore. But
either way, I think whoever doesn't win the division gets that's a playoff spot.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we have and we agree on Detroit and Houston or Texas, right?
Yeah,
I think for the West. So if you look at the National League West.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously the team with all the talent and all the money. The Dodgers are going to run away with that division.
Sure.
Arizona could have a bounce back year and get that wild card maybe. The other 3 teams, Colorado, San Francisco, and San Diego, I don't see much out of them.
Yeah, Arizona did. They improved their starting pitching. So,
and I hear Corbin Carroll's healthy this year. He was not healthy last year.
You could tell.
Yeah,
you could tell. So I don't know if that carries over, but no, I would expect him to have definitely a bounce back season. I mean, a guy who should definitely be an all-star.
Oh yeah.
The West is a good question. I mean, Milwaukee stands. I mean, not the West.
Central.
Milwaukee stands out
They
because
always seem to win. I mean, they're not great on paper, but
that's what I'm saying.
they just seem to win it. I don't know, Pittsburgh. You're going to have a full year of Paul Skeens. I mean, that's a lot of wins right there.
Yeah, I was going to ask about them. If
you back him up with that Jared Jones kid, and you got the shortstop O'Neal Cruz,
can
they'll win some games. Cincinnati will win some games, but they don't have any pitching.
No, they don't. And can Pittsburgh put it together? I mean, yeah. I mean, you're right. It's with Paul Skeens. My goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be games where he's going to be unhittable.
Yeah, I mean, if they can somehow either bring somebody up through the minors or sign somebody in free agency as a pitcher, that team will be dangerous. That 1-2.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think Jared Jones has a chance to be a star pitcher.
Oh, I agree with you. It's a shame that the ownership out there doesn't invest like they should.
Like they're not going to be able to pay Skeens.
No, and
he's only going to play there for probably 4 or 5 seasons.
Or they're going to choose not to. I mean, if they put together a team that could contend, that city would fill that ballpark consistently.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand. I'm just confused with the ownership and what they do. It's a gorgeous ballpark.
Yeah.
You can talk all you want about Citizens Bank Park. It's
I know
better.
I hear that a lot, and you said it too. I mean, but if you project Skeens over the next 4 or 5 seasons, he'll probably, if he does what we think he's going to do, he'll have to be the highest paid pitcher ever.
Yeah, that is an excellent point.
And there's no way that Pittsburgh's going to be able to compete with the other teams.
Is he Juan Soto level money? Probably not, but close.
No, but as a pitcher, he'll probably get 35, 40 million a year.
Oh, I was thinking maybe 70
for 30 starts. Wow.
Yeah. Mets will give it to him, or the Yankees.
Yeah, I know.
The Dodgers will just give it to him, and instead of paying him, they'll pay his grandkids. See?
Yeah.
That'll work for them.
Mm-hmm.
That'll work out for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't right now. But if I'm putting money down on who wins the National League Central, I'm picking the Brewers.
Yeah. All right, finally, the National League East, what you've all been waiting for.
The Phillies.
I don't know.
Just thinking about this for the show, I'm like, okay, I can't see Atlanta, and I can't see the Mets because of their pitching, and the bottom of their lineup.
Yeah, they're going to score a lot of runs, I think. The Mets.
Yeah, we've seen teams that score a lot of runs and also not win the division too. The Phillies have done.
Yeah, I mean, look at Juan Soto. Juan Soto's been on the Nationals. He doesn't make them a division winner. What's up, Marcus? How you doing?
What's going on? Yeah, I didn't talk to our colleague from Pittsburgh and find out how he made out in Lancaster yesterday. I mean, I didn't obviously go.
It was today, wasn't it today?
I think it was yesterday. Maybe it was.
He said he was coming there to watch some games with his friends.
There was some last night.
The tournament.
Yeah, there was some play in last night.
Yeah.
If it was, so I should have probably reached out to him. Still trying to fight off some bronchitis or whatever the situation is. But
wow. About wild cards.
Well, I was gonna say this. I think the National League East. I think it's the Phillies, the Mets, and then the Braves, and
they all make it.
Yeah, I think so.
So nobody from the Central gets in besides Milwaukee, and then possibly Arizona in the West. Sounds about right.
Yeah, or
that would look familiar.
Or San Diego and Atlanta doesn't make it, but I can't. I have a hard time saying Atlanta doesn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Where did Corbin Burns end up?
Arizona.
Right. They,
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
definitely.
I'm sorry. I should have mentioned his name when I said that they
Yeah,
improved their.
yeah. So they got Merle Kelly and Burns and what's his name? Um, the other fifth starting pitcher. Wow, drawing
Yeah,
blanks all over the place. I
I can
got
see I can see him with his glasses on.
yeah, I got the guy from around here.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I got Brandon. The problem is I have that Brandon Pafat guy. My
uh. Hold on. We're gonna get him. I mean, I can see the guy.
me too.
It'll pop. Zach Gallen is his name.
Yeah, Zach Allen. Yeah, he's a Cy Young candidate. So they have two Cy Young candidates on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, see what I was just saying about Corbin Carroll? I didn't even know this. He hit 394 this spring training with 4 home runs.
So he's coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah. So whatever that's a team right there. You look at their win total and you take the over.
That's a good idea. Yeah. And then Zach Gallen goes down needing Tommy John. hopefully not. Hopefully not. I mean, I said this I think last week. I mean, as much disdain as I have for the Yankees, I disdain seeing players get injured.
Yeah.
And when you talk about when you look at the American League, I would have to say that the playoff teams would be Baltimore, Boston. We said Detroit, Texas, Houston, and then Yankees maybe, Cleveland maybe. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be that surprise team or not.
Yeah, I think we got it pretty much drilled. It's pretty easy because you can pretty much throw certain teams out, which makes it a lot easier to pick the playoff team.
Yeah, true.
What do you think Arizona's win total is? I have it here. I thought it would be about 90.
88.
86 and a half.
Ooh. Yeah, looking at them on paper, that's an over.
Yeah,
I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think for sure. What are they? What's the win total for the Phillies?
Take a look. Philadelphia Phillies. What do you think?
90.
90 and a half. Exactly what I thought. Exactly what I thought the Diamondbacks would be.
Oh boy.
The Mets also 90 and a half.
Wow. And one of them's going under.
They got the Braves 93 and a half. So they have the Braves winning the division.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And they're plus 125. They got the Phillies second at plus 195. Mets plus 210. If you think the Marlins have a chance, you'll get 320 to 1 on your money. 320.
What's the Marlins win total? 38 and a half?
What could the White Sox be? 63 and a half for the Marlins.
Oh boy. You know what would be an interesting kind of prop bet if you put out there? Who has more wins? The Dodgers or the White Sox Marlins combined? That's easy.
That's true. No, the White Sox total? The White Sox are 54 and a half. And the under's favored, minus 115.
So they're 54. Would you say the Marlins were?
63. That's 117.
I'm taking the Dodgers.
Dodgers are 105 and a half.
Oh boy. I'm gonna have to look. Seeing how the Dodgers already won 2 games, yeah, I don't think somebody had that would have been a good one. That would have been interesting one to see what the odds were to take the Dodgers on that.
No, well, they must see something out of the Nationals because they're 70 and a half.
They have some young players.
Yeah, Dylan Cruz.
Yeah,
I just don't know who they're going to throw out there to throw the ball.
Yes, if after Gore, I have no idea who it is.
No, I know.
And I'm blanking on his name now. Their shortstop who leads off sometimes for them. He came over in the Juan Soto deal
Yeah,
too.
from San Diego. The left-hander. What's his name? C.J. Abrams.
Yeah. He's turning what, 15 this year? No,
Yes.
he just looks really young.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think what it'll come down to with the top three teams in the East. I mean, it's just who wins those games against, not so much head to head, but who beats up on Washington and Miami.
Yeah.
So are
But
they back?
They don't play as many games as they used to, though.
No, that's what I said. They're still doing that same thing where they're playing head to head, only 13 instead of 19.
Right.
So and the Phillies start off with like we said, with Washington right away. So
yeah, stack those wins early.
Hopefully. I mean, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about last year, and so disappointing how it ended, going out, losing 3-1 to the Mets. The one thing it then popped into my mind about, and the way the season ended kind of ruined this, but the Phillies, they got off to probably their best start we've seen in a long time, probably since '93.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they pretty much, they coasted to the division last year.
They did.
It was never in doubt, really.
Sadly, they didn't do anything at the deadline to.
Well, yeah, they didn't do anything to improve, and at the end of the year, they were resting guys, and they weren't sharp going in. We were afraid of that.
Yeah, they got that one Castellanos walk-off against the Mets, and boy, other than that, they weren't even in the other games. They just
you never felt they had a chance. That the momentum was all with the Mets, the crowd, the energy. They were just.
It was what we saw in 2022 with the Phillies.
Yeah, against the Braves, right?
Yep. The top 10 I came up with this week does reflect baseball, and this was another thing that I did, and I didn't go back past 1980 with this. I just said, okay, since 1980 going forward, top 10 best pitchers.
From 1980. Didn't we didn't do this already?
No, we did something similar. I don't think we did this exactly. And we do it on here on StreamYard.
Okay.
And no current pitchers on the list.
I thought because I named Roy Halladay. What was that? What was that list?
Now I'm trying to remember what list that was.
I know. I feel like I just did this with Maddox and.
Where's my list? I might have it here somewhere. What happened? Because there's some guys on here. I'm trying to think what that list was, because there's guys on here that I put on this list when I sat down and did this that I didn't remember were on the list before. I'm looking here and I don't see it. I don't see my previous list.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if today, the question is, off the top of your head, your top 10.
All right. Maddox, Glavine.
I have Maddox number 2.
Glavine's not on there?
Glavine is not on my list. Now, of course, you can make the argument then for who he should replace.
Okay. Roy Halladay.
Number 4.
Nolan Ryan.
Number 5.
Steve Carlton.
I didn't put Carlton should be on the list.
Yeah, I mean, are you going by feet? Because
he
since 80?
He pitched in the 80s, but he was more dominant in the 70s.
Right. He's still good in the 80s.
Oh, he's still very good in the 80s.
Early 80s. Early 80s.
Carlton could replace one of these guys as well.
Roger Clemens.
I have him 10. Only because of the PED controversy.
Okay. Randy Johnson's number 1.
He's 3 on my list.
Really?
Number 3 is Randy Johnson.
Curt Schilling.
If you're making a list, Johnson's 1 on yours.
Yeah, he is. Curt Schilling.
6.
Yeah. Who the heck do you have number one?
Yeah, well, we must not have done this list recently. He had a cup of coffee with the Phillies.
Pedro.
Yeah, Pedro.
Okay.
I have him number one.
It's funny you say that because I watched a video of him today. It was like what happened to it said we need a rivalry like the Yankees Red Sox, and it showed a game where what was his name, Millar? He was hit early in the game.
Kevin
and
Millar.
Pedro said to him, "Who do you want me to hit?" And he said, "Jeter." So Soriano came up and he threw him up and in. He hit him, and he said, "I didn't mean to hit him, so I still have to hit Jeter." And then he hits Jeter next pitch in the hand, and he says, "Jeter and Soriano both left in the same ambulance." This is Martinez talking.
I believe it. He'd probably tell that story right now today.
Yeah,
and be okay with it. They did have some good rivals, and Boston coming back. I guess that was 2004. They came back when they were down 3-0.
mm-hmm.
Got down 3-0 to the Yankees in the ALCS, and then won 8 straight.
Yeah, Aaron Boone.
Yeah, kind of fun.
How many more?
3.
John Smoltz.
No.
Hmm.
These you will like I said, as I'm sitting down doing this blind, and these guys came to mind. You could probably move Glavine in here, Carlton as well. I have a Seattle Mariner on the list.
Felix Hernandez.
Yeah,
really?
He was really good for.
He was. I don't know if he did it long enough.
Yeah, that's the point. He didn't do it long enough.
Do you have DeGrom?
No.
I mean, when he pitches, he's one of the best.
He would still be technically a current player, so I don't.
Oh yeah.
I have a San Francisco Giant who kind of flamed out as a Diamondback, and then I have guy who was
Timmy Lincecum.
Not Lincecum though. He could probably be on the list as well. I have the guy who he was really good in the playoffs and World Series.
Oh, Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah, he came to mind. And then number 9 is a guy I think doesn't get mentioned enough, and maybe you could tell me he shouldn't be on the list, but he was a Marlin, and I believe he pitched for the Red Sox as well.
Yeah, I know who you mean. When he said Marlin, I instantly thought of Juan Fernandez.
Oof, yeah.
You're thinking of what the heck's his name?
I know. I'm putting Bobby on the spot.
I know. I see his face.
When you go back into card collecting, I mean, I don't know how far back you go, but there used to be a monthly magazine that came out with that. Yeah.
I mean, I see the guy's face. He had curly hair. I see him on the mound. Josh Beckett. Yeah.
That's the card. Did you? I remember that back when I was in college and I worked at the comic book store because we sold cards as well. And those Beckett's, the day that came out, there was people there all the time to buy them.
They still, people get them delivered still in the mail. I mean, you can still see them here and there. Yeah.
And
I mean, yeah, he was good. He was good. I had a couple other guys, I thought of. Who was really good for a long time? Chris Carpenter.
And you could put Adam Wainwright on this list too.
And Wainwright.
Yeah, because you're right. And you mentioned Carpenter was really good.
Yeah. Justin Verlander. I don't know if he's done playing. Verlander.
Yeah, I know, because if you're making this list, you'd absolutely put him. You put Scherzer. You put Kershaw, guys who are still pitching. But you would.
If Steven Strasburg didn't stay healthy, he would have been on there.
Absolutely. Yeah. He didn't, but that's just horrible what happened with him. But hey, he got his World Series though. I mean, he was I think he was the MVP of the World Series, wasn't he? He may have been the 2019 World Series MVP. I think it was him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Him, Scherzer, Juan Soto on that. My God. Yeah, that was.
You think there would be more guys from the Giants too? All the winning they did. It was mostly Lincecum, I guess, and Bumgarner.
Yeah,
they were tough. Some tough players.
Yeah, And they did it 3 years, but they won one, then didn't, then won one, then didn't, then won one. So
Every other year. Yeah.
yeah, every other year. And the interesting thing I remember about that Washington series against Houston, Washington won all 4 games in Houston.
That's right. Including game 7.
Yep, exactly. And just it was just amazing that happened. Mention cards though. Anything going on with cards?
Well, the football guys have really fizzled out. I mean, it's gotten to the point where football's gotten boring, and I've been transitioning over to basketball. And I told you, like I said, Amen Thompson's becoming the guy. It's a shame he got hurt.
I know
He was really taken off. Yeah, I mean, it's like Jaden Daniels became the CJ Stroud of this year. Like everybody's overpaying for Jaden Daniels cards, and I think he'll probably drop big time once the season starts and you start getting the new guys come in. I just sold a nice Travis Hunter card. Yeah, and right now I sold a Jackson Dart autographed card. You're gonna sell the college card right now because they don't have the pros out. But once those Travis Hunter pro cards come out and you see more of the new pro uniform, the college cards that everybody gets away from. So it's a constantly changing game. You have to constantly be up on it. You can't let time go by. You can't hold, in other words. They're not stocks. You got to move them while they're hot. I'm learning that.
Yeah,
unless they're certain guys. Michael Jordan, of course, is always going to be liquid. He's a guy you'll always sell. Kobe Bryant's, of course.
LeBron.
Yeah, guys still want LeBron's. Yeah, certain Curry, of course. So, I mean, basketball almost has more guarantee guys than any other sport. But no, it's funny. Guys don't want the older football players. People aren't going to crawl over a Barry Sanders card or a Walter Payton card.
Wow,
they don't.
That was the first person I thought of when you said the older. I was going to ask. Like mentioned Walter
Brett
Payton.
Favre, for example. Nobody wants Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers. They won't give you anything for those guys. No. They want all the current, even John Elway, Dan Marino, Jerry Rice a little bit. People like Jerry Rice.
Joe Montana.
Yeah, just his rookie. Other than that, see, the problem was they didn't really make the cards that they make today of those guys. All their stuff was just base. It was just base cards.
Oh yeah. Nothing different than anybody else's that was made that
right. Right. I mean, if you find a nice Joe Montana graded card because they didn't really center them back then, you get big money for it, but they're hard to find. They didn't cut them well. Nowadays, everything's cut good.
And it was just back then. It was just Topps, right?
Yeah, it was Topps, and Fleer made some cards. It wasn't 100. Upper Deck wasn't really into football.
Was Bowman around back then?
Bowman. You had a company called Classic Pacific. There wasn't many, but people just don't clamor over. They don't want them. They want the new stuff. They want these autographs and the patches, the game worn patches. You don't see that stuff with the older guys.
And the place to check out, of course, is the Whatnot app, right?
Yeah.
What did you make of that bizarre ending for NASCAR? I didn't see that coming.
Well, I must have a bad memory tonight for some reason. Remind me.
Josh Berry.
Oh yeah. It wasn't. I mean, he just cruised to victory. It wasn't really.
Well, I'm saying more the idea of who was there in the.
Yeah, he was strong. I mean, he just pulled away. He had that Wood Brothers 21 car, and
it was
competition for. I think you're going to see that a lot this year. You're going to see guys like him. They're going to, have surprise weeks and pop up. It can't be Larson every week or Christopher Bell every week. And,
it was Barry, Suarez,
right,
Reese, and then Byron.
Yeah, how about Ryan Preece getting on a standard track? It wasn't even like a super speedway. It was a standard race that he legitimately came in third. Who's this joining us? Track the Bloom. What does that say? Cheap viewers on Stream Boo.
Thanks for joining us. But
I don't know what that is. I think that's a robot.
Might be. That's not the Emperor of Japan, is it?
Yeah. Don't shoot us with any viruses.
Yeah, I think Paris probably to be top 3.
It had to be 20-1, right?
At least.
Yeah.
least. And then this week, let me see here quick where they're headed.
So somewhere warm.
It is in Homestead, Miami.
There you go.
It is the Straight Talk Wireless 400.
Straight Talk Wireless. That sounds like something that went out of business in the 90s.
with the Nokias and everything.
Yeah. Beep, beep. Huh.
What was the first cell phone you had?
Motorola Flip.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I had one of those at one point. Mine was a Nokia.
They were very well made. Like they were solid. Like you could open them a million times. They weren't going to break on you.
Now here's the question. Did you have the clip for the belt and use it?
I did not.
It always came with that clip.
I always had it in my pocket.
Yeah. That's and it had the
I had a Nokia phone also. Remember, it was a straight. It wasn't an open shut phone.
No, it wasn't.
I remember the big buttons on it.
Yeah, I had. That's what I started with.
I was with AT&T, and I still am.
Oh,
this many years later.
Cool.
Probably out of laziness.
I remember that Motorola had that little antenna.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the side. I remember. I'm trying to think. I think it was when we were moving and we moved into the house I'm in now. I come across my old Motorola phone and the battery had like liquefied. It was.
Oh my god.
It was like the battery had like liquefied and then there was like this corrosion on the outside of the phone. When I found it, I was like, oh.
I still have an iPhone 3 in one of my drawers.
Oh, probably still works well, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I probably don't have the charger for it.
Yeah, might be.
Yeah, if you have an original iPhone, I think they're worth something.
Yeah, and I don't. I wish I did. I wish I did just to be able to sell it.
Yeah, took an old iPhone out of a case and the battery was bloated.
Yeah, that absolutely can happen. Looking forward next week. Like I said, when we come on next week, the Phillies game will be over.
Yeah, they'll either be undefeated or doom and gloom.
We'll break that down and break down what we see.
I can just see us tearing up Rob Thompson.
Oh, or Romano.
Yeah. Wheeler will go like 6 innings, 77 pitches in a poll.
And I owe an apology too for all the times I called him Romero. It's Romano.
Hasn't he been like lights out this preseason? He's like 9 innings, no runs or something like that.
Him,
and
Alvarado, and Kerkering have a .043 ERA in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
So they're due to get hit around.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be coming on here looking at the odds for Mackenzie Gore to be the Cy Young winner.
Yeah.
In typical fashion, it'll be a game by Wheeler where he gives up 1 run, and that 1 run will seem like 10.
Yeah, hopefully, right. It's going to be cold.
Hopefully not.
They're coming back from Florida. It'll be cold and damp, and it'll be tough to score. I could see it. Yeah.
They're not. I didn't look, but they're not playing any preseason games at Citizens Bank Park.
It seems like they don't do that anymore. I don't think.
They used to, yeah.
On deck series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they stopped that.
Yeah, they did. And then, they'll play Thursday, and hopefully.
I got a movie for you. I watched a movie. You should be so proud. It was called M. Night Shyamalan movie. Did you see it? Trapped?
Yeah, you told me about it last week. I have not watched it yet.
I think I'm losing my mind. Huh? I have no memory anymore.
I need to. That is on my list.
Okay.
That is one. What I need to do is I just need to block out the time so I can just focus just on that, and because I know that there's the ones that you need to pay attention to. So I don't know if I asked you last week about it, but good, bad.
What, the movie?
Hmm?
What, I texted to you?
No.
I said it on the show.
You mentioned it. I don't know, but I don't think we got it. You mentioned it, and I said I'll watch it. I don't think we got into whether you thought it.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Typical M. Night Shyamalan movie where the ending you're left wondering, but
we had talked more about some of his other movies from what was it,
Yeah.
Old?
Old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one of his that always comes to mind is, if you saw it, was called The Happening.
Mm-hmm.
Really bad. I
Yeah.
didn't like that one. I didn't like, what was it, The Lady in the Water, The Village.
Yeah, Village. Yeah, the Village
Yeah.
Idiot. I mean, yeah, this movie. I don't know if it takes place in a stadium. It's actually I came to read that it's not in Philadelphia. It's supposed to be in Philadelphia, but it's not. It's
The
actually in
comment,
Canada.
the comment you made last week was he put the film together. What was it, for his daughter?
His daughter is they're basically, it's a guy taking his daughter. It's Josh Hartnett taking his daughter to a concert, and the concert is like supposed to be like a Taylor Swift, teeny bop thing, but it's his daughter instead. And they're actually original songs made by his daughter and sung by his daughter. And there's a serial killer at the concert.
Yeah,
And
we talked about it because I mentioned the Stephen King book. Yeah,
okay.
we did talk about it last
Yep.
week. And
Yeah.
hey, we are getting up there in age.
Yeah, I know. Check it out. Pretty good.
Yeah, and we didn't mention the word Eagles the whole show. We're definitely not mentioning Flyers.
Eagles are the champions. The Flyers stink. Boo.
That's right. Hey, can't take that Super Bowl away from him. Brandon Graham
Right.
has announced his retirement, which
Yeah.
is not no surprise.
No, go out on top.
Arguably the greatest play in Philadelphia sports.
Yeah, the strip sack of Tom Brady.
Arguably, yeah.
That's a top 10.
Yeah, yep. And that would
Top
be
10
tough.
Phillies plays of all time. Philadelphia plays of all time.
We'll have that because we did something similar to that a while ago, but now we maybe have had some other ones since then. We'll do that, and the worst signings. We'll have that top 10 next week.
Got it.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good night, everybody.